everybody, I am just here with my homeschool must-haves. I know that Amazon Prime is coming right up. July 16th and 17th, if I'm not mistaken, is when Amazon Prime is. So I thought today would be a good time to kind of record what my must-haves are for my homeschool classroom. I have a 6-year-old about to be 7, and then I have one that just turned 3 that I will be starting to homeschool in the fall. So without further ado, let's just jump into the must-haves. So there is no particular order that I am going. There's also like no specific category. I'm just going to go through my must-haves that I am constantly like reaching for when I am homeschooling my oldest boy. So my first one that I can I use just nonstop is my printer. I print so many worksheets. I like to make my own posters, I guess, on just like computer paper, but then I laminate them and then I like put them around the homeschool room. So number one must have is I must have a printer. To kind of go with that is number 2 is my laminating machine. My laminating machine and my printer go like hand in hand. They are a must for me. And they are inexpensive. My laminating machine must have. Something else that I really use a lot with my printer and my laminating machine is my glue dots. I like to do a lot of laminating and then cutouts, and then I like to use my glue dots so the kids can stick things and then take them off as needed. So that is another, my glue dots. Another thing that I really has been a lifesaver is my smock. Smock is like one of those like painting things that you put over the kids so they don't get dirty. I use that quite a lot when they are painting in the homeschool classroom. I'll put that on him, and if he gets paint, it's on the smock. No biggie. So craft items, like I do have craft cart, and I do have a craft table in the classroom. So basically in this cart I have everything that the kids would ever need to create a craft if they're ever bored. I've got paint, I've got paintbrushes, I've got buttons, I've got stickers, I've got popsicle sticks, like glue, like any of that. I've even got like glitter in there for Liam. So just really anything that you can use for craft. Paper plates. I've got paper plates in there. I've got my construction paper. I've got all my scissors, my crayons, my markers. Like everything is all in there. So the kids can just grab anything they'd like to do a craft on. They can just grab from that cart, and then they just take it over to the table. Googly eyes is another thing that my kids really enjoy grabbing from that craft cart. So yeah, really it's just anything. Walmart has like a whole aisle of just craft sections. You can literally just go down that aisle and just pick out a bunch of craft things. So that's another one that I really need to have in my homeschool. It's just anything craft related to keep the little one occupied. Another thing that is just something that I really enjoy having is an electric pencil sharpener. For the first couple of years, I just used like one of those small pencil sharpeners. You just stick it in and you twist it. But I found that I would twist too much, that I would end up breaking the tip. So Liam would use it, the tip was actually loose and it would just automatically break, and then I would go back to sharpening it. So my electric sharpener has been lifesaver for me. Another thing that has really just taken my education to another level is a clock, a wall clock. I bought a specific one, and I will post the picture here of the one that I bought that has really helped Liam, because it actually shows you all of the numbers. It actually shows you 12, and then it shows you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it actually shows them all of the numbers, so they know, in between, the 2 and the 3, those small little lines, what the numbers would be. So Liam can just look at the clock, and he can learn how to tell time. Is a place value tent. That was, again, inexpensive, even like before Prime Day. I think I paid $7 on Amazon Prime for the place value tent. So that is another thing that Liam has been able to see in front of him and be able to be like, okay, 1's place, 10th place, 100th place, all of that. So definitely a place value tent is something that we truly enjoy and is a must-have for Liam. Another item that I have really used a ton of in our homeschool classroom is a whiteboard. And I have two. I have a big whiteboard against one of the walls, and then I have a small desk-sized whiteboard that whenever I want Liam to do something, but I don't want it just written down on a piece of paper or something, I just take out the small desk whiteboard and give it to him, and then he can write on that. So whiteboards, and of course with the whiteboards goes like the markers and the eraser and all of that. So a big whiteboard, and then a desk-sized whiteboard. But the one that I actually purchased, it actually has like a stand. So Liam doesn't actually have to hold on to the whiteboard. He could just place it on his desk, take the stand out, and then it just stands on his desk. Another thing is my organization totes. I've got 2 go-to totes when it comes to my homeschooling. The first one is a 6-quart. So it's just a small 6-quart square, but it's big enough to where I can do like a few books in it, even some worksheets. Now, my organization totes I strictly use for unit studies. So my 6-quart totes that I have, I strictly use for mini unit studies. So a unit study that I just maybe want to spend a week on, and so I do my research, I get the books, I just shove it in this tote, and then I will then reach out. My second organization tote that is a must-have in my classroom is the 20-quart totes. The 20 quarts are taller, so it's wider and they're taller, but they're not tall to where, your basic tote that you use for storage. This 20-quart tote, I use it for bigger unit studies. So, for example, this coming up 24-25 school year, I will be doing an ocean unit study, but it's going to be an all year round ocean unit study. I'm going to start with, basically talking about the ocean, which is then going to lead into the tides, which is then going to lead into, shells, and then that is then going to lead into all of these ocean animals and things like that. So this is going to be a long unit study. So not only do I need to purchase books for just the oceans, I'm then going to have to purchase books for like all of these animals that I want to do. So this tote is perfect for me to be able to store all of those books, all of those worksheets, all of the craft items into one place. So that is why I absolutely love the 20-quart totes. This next item is more meant for if you're just starting homeschooling, which is going to be the case for my 3-year-old. One of the things that I want to start teaching is how to hold a pencil. And I purchased, when Liam was little, I purchased him some pencil grips, and that really helped him to be able to hold a pencil. So pencil grips is also a must-have in my classroom for my little one. Next must-have in my homeschool is prizes. This is not for everyone. Not everyone has to do this. This is just what works for me. Now, what do I mean by prizes? I mean small Dollar Tree, Target dollar spot prizes. Little slimes, little stickers, just small things like that. And I use those prizes to then Liam can then be able to dig into that prize bin if he does something good and pick something out. Now, this prize bin can also consist of food that you don't normally buy. It is some little pieces of candy, some Airheads are a good thing that I throw in there. They're pretty decent sized. So Airheads. You can also throw in like they make little Oreo packs. You can also throw in some Oreo packs. Like, it does not necessarily have to be a toy. It can be a food item that you don't typically buy. Next item is board games, specifically educational board games. There's been times when Liam he's dead from school. He has no motivation whatsoever. And he's just like, Mom, I really don't want to do school today. And I'm seeing that it's becoming a constant pattern of him complaining about doing school. That's when I say, okay, let's take a break from workbooks and let's do some games. And I know that those games... Yes. Sorry, my little one. Hang up. And I know those games are gonna have to do with what we're learning anyways. So a must-have for me is some Whoa! Sorry guys. He tipped it over. But anyways, some even card games, and even puzzles. My Liam likes doing puzzles. This one is more of a splurge, but I purchased an iPad last year for our homeschool, and I really enjoy it. Liam is able to just reach for the iPad and do some games on it, and we also sometimes need it for apps.